This is the plaintiff, Erica Simmons. She says the defendants towed her car and in the process damaged the engine. Now the car's totaled. That's right, they punctured the engine and all the oil leaked out. Now they won't take responsibility for their misdeeds and the horrible damage they caused. She's suing for $5,000, the value of her now worthless car. These are the defendants, Heather and Vincent. Heather says the plaintiff's a liar who's trying to get one over on them because she's mad her car was towed. They flatbed the cars they tow. There's no way they could puncture an oil pan. And even if they did, there'd be an engine full of oil on their brand new tow truck. The state would be all over them for hazardous oil spill, for crying out loud. Bottom line, they did nothing wrong. And they owe the plaintiff $0. They're accused of a slippery tow.
All parties, please use your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant towed her car and totaled it in the process. The defendant says the plaintiff's a liar and there was no damage, especially an oil pan puncture. It's the case of sore toe.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Simmons, your car was apparently left in the parking area of an apartment building for quite some time. It ended up getting towed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How long was it there?
It wasn't that long because...
How long is not that long?
Like a week, because my apartments, we can't have our car sitting no longer than a week if it's not functioning, it's not working, so
How do they know it's not working?
Because they have people walk around, because they have to check for like stickers, like if you stay out there, they put decals on our car, make sure the tag's up to date.
Was your tag up to date?
My car was sitting, it was fine.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Everything was fine, it's up to date, my car was fine.
So then how would they know that it had been sitting there?
I don't know,
Okay, it had to be. What was it you guys heard was the reason why you were being requested to tow?
The apartment complex called us and said they had an unregistered vehicle with no registration, and the registration stated that it was out of date since February of 2018, and this was on November 27th of 2018.
So, did they tell you how long the car had been sitting there?
No, they don't indicate that.
You're kind of assuming that it had been sitting there since February, but it might not have been.
Right.
She might have been driving around with an expired tag. All right, so in any event, the apartment building, and by the way, did you ever say to them, hey, why'd you tow my car? It was only 4 days?
Mm-hmm.
And what they tell you?
Because I had took my tag out my window because I don't like, my car was sitting there for like 4 days and someone had already stole my tag before, so I put it inside my car.
What did you put inside your car?
My tag. I put it in.
The license plate?
Yes, she said.
The entire license plate you put inside your car?
Because I locked my doors and put it in there. She said, we can't do that. We have to have it on back of the car.
Okay, so they ask you to tow, you tow, and how do you tow?
Also, the other thing, the car was stickered. It was stickered to advise the owner of the vehicle that the car's tag was out of date and it would be towed if it wasn't corrected.
And what was the date on the sticker?
The sticker was probably 2 days, 48 hours prior to it.
Do you have a picture of the date on the sticker?
We do have pictures for Your Honor.
So you end up towing the car. How is it you tow the car?
This vehicle was backed into the parking space, so we sent a car carrier, which is a rollback, and the car is attached with the 2 chains, and then it's pulled up onto the carrier. There's no way that anything can touch the oil pan on this vehicle.
Okay. It gets to your shop, and then you call because you go outside and you see your car's gone. So you find out what happened, then you call them, you go to their location to pick up the car, and what happens?
I go get my car out, and then it turns to like, it wouldn't do nothing, because normally it'll crank up, because the only thing was wrong was my crankshaft sensor was bad. So when I tried to drive it, it wouldn't do nothing. So I had to get it towed from out of their towing place to the shop, and he said that it had a hole in the engine oil pan. Okay, so I see that in the beginning of your complaint, what you say is, in December, I was having some problems with my car. It was drivable, but it kept cutting off. I took it to my mechanic, and he did a diagnostic. The crankshaft sensor went bad, so it needed to be replaced. At the time, I didn't have the money to fix it, so I had to wait until the next time I got paid. I drove my car back to my apartment complex and parked it there. When was the tow?
It was towed on November 27th, and it was picked up on November 30th.
All right, so when you go to pick it up, did you have proof of ownership of the car?
Yeah, I can't take it out of the gate without ownership. So
okay, and according to you, she had some trouble getting proof of ownership, or no?
She did. She called up, and she was very upset that we towed her vehicle without any explanation, which we told her the apartment complex actually had this vehicle towed, and we told her that she needed to have a current registration according to the state
Oh, so,
to drive it out, as well as insurance.
okay.
So she called us back on the 29th because she was trying to get that and stated that her car wouldn't start,
So
which
she could just
hadn't even
tow it
gone out.
without registration, right?
Yes.
She could, as long as she had a title stating that she
And
is
she
the
did have
owner.
a title, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so she gets it out, and then you take it to your mechanic, and this is the proof that you're giving me from the mechanic,
Yeah.
right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and what the mechanic says is Ms. Erica had no other problems on her Malibu except needed a CKS and camshaft sensor. There was no hole in the oil pan, no oil spill or puddle. From the picture, looked like oil pan was hit by a heavy force impact. You actually have a picture of the oil pan hole,
Yes,
right?
and when I emailed her, she said that she'll get in contact with the driver and find out what happened. She said because the car was leaking oil. She said the driver said the car was leaking oil prior for them towing it, but that's not possible because if it was leaking, like it would have been like leaking, but that had to oil had to pour out from that, like, and it would have been in my parking lot, and we get charged.
I
for
don't know
stuff like
how much oil you had in there to leak.
Oh no, I have
So
to
really,
have
it
oil
doesn't.
to drive because
You know, I'm less concerned over that than I am over the possibility of figuring out whether or not they could possibly make this whole through the towing process. What evidence do you have that they made that whole through
because
the
my
towing
car,
process?
they had to do that because my car was driving just fine. Because I'm in the nursing field, I have to drive to work
Your
every
car
day.
was not driving just fine.
It was.
In
No,
your
I'm saying
own
for four, like
complaint,
4
you tell me
days.
it wasn't
For
driving
4
fine.
days, like I'm saying, it'll crank out and it'll drive. I had no major problem. Like if I couldn't have cranked my car up and drove it to the front of my apartments, if that was there.
You're making these proclamations of what can and can't happen with that. And I know for a fact that you weren't driving your car because you're the one who said that you couldn't fix anything. And
after they towed my car, I couldn't drive it.
So do tow truck companies typically damage the cars that they tow?
No, they're designed in order to pick up the car, especially.
Fair enough, ma'am?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Okay, sir.
Absolutely not, man. I say no way.
Okay. Going inside the courtroom.
According to the driver and the tow sheets, you had no registration on the vehicle since February. Prove to me that you had registration between February and November on it.
It had a type.
No. I don't want to hear you flapping gums. I want to see the proof of it because everybody's saying your registration was expired, and that was part of why they towed you. So I need to see the proof of your registration. That's easy.
I don't have my registration on me. They didn't tell me to bring my registration.
Can you figure it out some way? Because see what that tells me is the car's not driving between February and November.
No,
if you have no registration on it between February and November.
No, because in my apartment complex, they have a policy where if your car been sitting for too long, they have to get it towed. And apparently, I've been driving my car. I've been out there in apartments for a whole year.
Did she call you on the day it got towed, or called you 4 days later?
She did call on the day it was towed because she didn't have a valid registration and wasn't quite sure how she was going to be able to drive the vehicle out.
So you told her she would have to get a valid registration, and she
Or have
said,
the title.
Say it again.
Or have the title to pick
Okay.
up the vehicle. And then she called the 29th.
Do you have? How does it work in? This is what state is this?
This is Florida.
Oh, well, do you have a picture of the tag? I know how it works. Did you take a picture of the tag or no?
There was no tag on the vehicle.
There wasn't even a tag in the front window like
We
she
don't
claims?
go into the vehicle by law. We have to
No,
run
but
a
did you
tag
see a
check.
tag in the front window?
No, we did not.
Okay, and did you put it in the front
Yes,
window?
I did.
Why would you put it in the front window if you're worried about it getting stolen? If you put it in the front window, someone's
Because I
going to know
lock
it's
my
there and then
doors.
steal it, break your
My
window and
people-
steal it. That
Yeah,
doesn't
my
make any
windows-
sense.
my
I think you
windows-
just say things like try to...
No, I know what goes on. Where
So
I
why
stay.
would you put it in the front window if the reason you're taking it off the back is your fear
Because
that
somebody can
someone's...
take it, can't never access my car. Like,
Say it again.
Can't no one access my car. That's why I put it inside my car and lock my doors.
Really?
Yes, because I
So
have.
no one's ever broken a window and taken something of value?
Yeah, but it's cameras, right? I'm not thinking nobody gonna make noise and
Well, if
break
the
my
cameras,
window.
wouldn't the cameras catch somebody taking the valid tag off the back too? Like every other car there that has a valid
I
tag?
backed my car in by a whole bunch of bushes.
All right, let me ask you a question. Why are you suing for $5,000?
My car is total, it's damaged.
Right. Where do you get the idea that your car's worth $5,000? Because the Blue Book value is $3,000 something. in good condition, and you
pain
had a
and
beat up
suffering,
car
'cause
that
I
had
had
a
to spend money
beat up
that-
car is not right. You had a car that had a mechanical problem that you've acknowledged. So where would you be entitled to $5,000?
For pain and suffering, I had to spend.
Okay, you know what?
hundreds
You're
of dollars.
putting me in pain and suffering. Based on what I am listening to, and based on what I know about how cars get towed, that damage cannot possibly get done the way that this tow happened. In fact, it can't even get done in the old-fashioned ways that tows happen. I don't see how the tow company could have done that. But even if I could see it, you would have to prove that they did before being entitled to any money, and I don't see how you're able to prove that with this. So my verdict is for the defendants.
So the plaintiff just can't convince the judge. Unfortunately, Ms. Simmons, you've lost the case here. What are you thinking right now?
That's fine because guess what? God sit high and look low, and they know they damaged my car, and it's okay because He blessed me with something brand new, and it doesn't even matter. So,
man, them people, the devil, they know they did that. Y'all know y'all did that. Y'all just need to own up to it and start lying. Y'all gonna pay for y'all sins though. Karma driving on your road. Believe that.
Sorry about that, okay? You must sign a few documents on your way out of the courtroom. Heather and Vincent are on their way out of the courtroom. Now, do you get sued very often for things like this?
We get some frivolous lawsuits at times. We don't have real lawsuits because if there is damage done, we go ahead and do the right thing and take care of it prior to it ever going to this.
I mean, when you do a flatbed tow, that's the safest way you can do it, isn't it?
There are all safe ways if you use professional drivers and they're trained properly.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Thank you very much. Okay. Case is over. Harvey?
Okay, I mean, look, even if the plaintiff proved her case, you can never get more than the value of the item at the time of the loss.